Welcome to another edition of the ISB podcast. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Bick. If you've been enjoying our Euro 2024 coverage, please subscribe to the channel. But we've reached the semifinals. The final is set, and it was quite a wild match between the Netherlands and England. I think we all know who won based on Bick over there flaunting it for all the fans around the world. But let's get into the match, Bick. Shall we talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it. Look, it was I actually thought England played well overall. I think much happy with this performance in the rest of the tournament. Obviously, very controversial goal, very controversial penalty for the first one for England. I thought the Dutch goal before that was amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Just came out of nowhere. Another outstanding goal in a tournament that has had quite a few of those. The penalty was definitely questionable, and I say that even with all my bias. And then I think England played well, and Southgate made those changes. And surprisingly, he made the changes when the game was even, rather than when England were behind, and paid off.
Yeah,
it was a Palmer to Watkins pass.
Yeah. Let's get into all of it. So basically, this match had two wonder goals on either side, and one extremely, in my opinion, poor refereeing decision. We'll get into all the nuances of that in a second. And it was really a shame that ruined what was a match that had fantastic goals aside from that. And so we'll get to that point in a second. But so starting off, obviously, it's didn't start off well for the English. Xavi Simons with a golazo, a wonder goal. And at that point in time, it's looking like, all right, this is the third match in a row where England's fallen behind in a knockout match, right?
Yeah.
So what were you thinking at that point in time?
I was thinking, look, it's obviously very disappointed, but I'm glad it's happened early. There was a part of me that did think that, because England always seem to play better when they go a goal behind. So at least now I think this was scored in the 7th minute. So they had 83 minutes to take care of it. I also thought, not that England were unlucky with a goal, but it was just a goal out of nowhere. So it's like you can't really prepare for such things. And, it is what it is. I didn't think England played that badly until that goal, but it would actually spur them on. And it really was a moment that England had to show what they were made of. And I think they came out ahead.
It's very interesting because they've literally fallen behind every single match, and the fact that they keep coming back, and sometimes it's been, I agree with you. I think overall in this match, this was probably the best we've seen the team play. But in the other match, it was just the other match that's been individual moments of brilliance that have saved the match for them. And it was strange because at that point in time, I said, okay, I saw like Memphis Depay. Actually, I think his injury was a big issue, because I thought up to that point in the early part of the match, he was actually causing a lot of problems, even though he himself was not doing a lot. He was getting into space and relaying balls to some of the other players. So that I think was a big loss for the Dutch. But then let's get to the controversial moment, because let's start with that and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you said it was moments.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I said it's funny that you said it was moments of individual brilliance, because I think this is a moment of individual brilliance from the referee for England. Look, I mean, the thing is, again, I think you don't go to experts for such things. You look at your WhatsApp groups, you see what people are saying in the pub. I was watching this match in a pub. Just by way of context, I was actually at the first match of the England cricket summer earlier, England-West Indies, and the match finished at 6 p.m. and the football match started at 8 p.m. So I went straight to the pub afterwards. And literally all the England fans in the pub were like, yeah, that penalty's a bit of a joke. I checked all my WhatsApp groups. Everyone felt it was a bit of a joke. But you know what? When you have luck come your way, you take it. There's no way to defend that.
Now let's get into it a little bit, because look, we've all played this sport, right? And so for many years now we all played. And as a defender, I was a defender. And it's very difficult in those moments to say, okay, you can't try. Basically what they're saying is you cannot attempt to get that ball. I understand your studs are up, but sometimes when the ball's at that height, you're going to be kicking at that height. And then Harry Kane just comes and takes a shot. And essentially the contact is just 2 feet coming together after the shot's already gone. What people also miss, and this is the part that is mind-boggling to me, that VAR looked at it, is right before that, if you look at it, Saka actually touches the ball with his hand. So there's a handball before actually going over to, Harry Kane getting that shot. So if VAR is looking at this, I'm thinking you missed completely the handball. Then you're looking at this, and then the referee looked at it as well. The referee who has dubious, a past as well. So it just seemed, the whole thing seemed very odd, and that changed the momentum of the match, I feel.
Yeah, 100%. Look, I mean, the thing is, I can't disagree with you there, and I say this with all like my England blinkers on. And again, you'll not get an England fan who'll say like, "Oh yeah, that was definitely deserved." It didn't make sense. I think obviously if he got the ball, if the defender kicked Harry Kane before Harry Kane took a shot, then you can say, okay, that's a foul, that's a penalty. But this happened after the ball was kicked. So I don't know. I mean, look. You mentioned this referee has dubious past. Maybe England got him. The FA has a lot of money. I don't want to make any allegations there. But yeah, you're not going to get me to defend that decision. The only thing I will say in defense is 2010, Frank Lampard's goal was disallowed. 1998, Diego Simeone did that thing against Beckham. And 1993, Ronald Koeman should have got a red card in qualifying. So when decisions go your way, you put your hands up and you say, you know what, I'm going to take this one and we're going to enjoy it. And I think that's what England did. And that's all you can do. But I will also put my hands up and say, yeah, that was definitely lucky. That should not have been a penalty. Yeah. And England were very lucky to get it, but they took advantage of it.
Yeah. So it's really funny. I was going to mention the Frank Lampard actually, goal against Germany, which wasn't given. And also I do want to mention one other thing. I think still believe Sol Campbell scored a legit goal against Argentina in that famous Beckham red card match, which was ruled out. And I believe that should have counted as a goal, and it was not given. So sometimes it falls on both sides. But before coming back to England, should the Dutch feel robbed about this? Because after the match, Virgil van Dijk basically said, "I think referees should be held accountable, and they should come and talk to the press. Talk to the press about why they made their decisions, just like players get grilled." And I thought that's actually an interesting idea.
Yeah. So there's two questions there. One is, should the Dutch feel robbed? The answer is yes. Because I don't think it was a penalty and was given, and just on that basis, and that changes the momentum, right? It's not, you can't say that, England would have scored that last goal anyway, because all of the things that happen after England go 1-1 are attributable to some extent to what happened to England being 1-1. If Netherlands had been 1-0 to 60 minutes, and all of a sudden the momentum may have been more with Netherlands, and so I think in that sense the Dutch should definitely feel robbed. I don't know if referees should have to come in and explain their decisions afterwards. I think they're already under a lot of scrutiny, and the thing is, players get grilled, but players also get praise. Players also have fans who will sing their praises throughout. I do think there should be some accountability, and I think there should definitely be referee. I don't know if this is already the case, but there should be referee rankings, and that, especially with technology, you should not be able to get these decisions wrong. All the decisions we spoke about before, whether that's Sol Campbell header, whether the Beckham red card, or whether the Lampard goal, that was before technology was in play. You have technology in play. Anyone could have told you that's not a penalty. Why are these experts getting it wrong? And there should be clear protocols and guidelines on what is right and wrong. And again, I get football is a very fluid sport. One, for some people something might be a foul, and for others it might not. I think this is pretty clear cut.
But that's where, you make a good point. So remember, this is a VAR decision that reversed the referee's decision, right? The referee said no penalty, and VAR is coming in. So I think it's more of an evaluation of VAR. They need to be very sure in these situations that what they're doing is taking care of a blatant offense that was not corrected by the referee. And in this case, this was not a blatant offense. And then, as I mentioned, if you look at the soccer handball, it's actually another offense that, if you look at it in video, you should have disallowed the penalty, even based on that. So I understand everyone has this empowerment to feel involved, and maybe the VAR person is, in these moments feels like, oh, I want to be involved in this match, but that's not your job. Your job is to come in, and I think that's what we've lost a little bit with VAR.
Yeah, I still think VAR is a work in progress. There's no way I can defend that decision, and it is bonkers. It genuinely is bonkers how that was given. So yeah, but I look, I don't think I don't think referees should come in and have to explain their decisions to the press, because they're already under a lot of pressure. But there's got to be something done about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it also robs England of, like, I mean, look, maybe England would have scored in the 30th minute
Yeah.
and would have scored the 90th minute goal again, but it does take away some of the sheen from an England win.
Yeah. And you like to see, like you said, the team. You'd like to see the team fight, get back into it, try to win. And it happened in the last. Remember in the Denmark match in Euro 2020, same deal. People have said, oh, they won that match, but that penalty should never have been awarded, and it kind of creates these controversies across the board. And it's not the same, but. Okay, let's talk about now the goal that there was no controversy about, which is of course Ollie Watkins, and we'll end here. As much as Southgate's been maligned and people have said, oh, we need a new manager. Look at this, man. I mean, I think there's nothing more you can say about what he's done today, and bringing a team to back-to-back Euro finals, semifinals of World Cups. He's got to be the right guy. But there's a lot in that. But that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, and I think again, now the argument is, why did you not bring Luke Shaw on earlier? Why did you not bring Cole Palmer on earlier? Why did you not bring Ollie Watkins on earlier? People have been crying for that throughout the tournament, because Harry Kane hasn't looked that good. And as soon as Ollie Watkins came on, he made a difference. And it was a pass from one substitute to another. Great goal. Yeah, but I think also on the other side, I think, he got his substitutions right, and he seems to be getting them right throughout the tournament. I guess the question is around the timing of it. What time do you bring on substitutes? Because I think he brought both of them on with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah, you could call it luck or whatever you want to say, but I don't see another England manager being able to replicate the success that he's done. That's like kind of big picture. And in a moment like this, like, you got to give credit to Watkins. Firstly, I thought as soon as he released that shot, I thought actually the Dutch defender made a little bit of a mistake, because I said, if you let him take that shot, there's a possibility if he hits it perfectly right, it can go in. And as soon as he backed off, I saw it happening. I was like, oh, I think that might be going in. And then it was a fantastic shot. Yeah,
no, it was great. And he's had a fantastic season in the Premier League. People have been crying out for him to start for England. And he's shown his worth in 10 minutes. He's played 10 minutes in the Euros, and he's scored one of England's most important goals that gets him to the final. So I think he'll be really pleased with himself. I don't know what more I can say on that, because Kane hasn't looked that good. I think Kane relies on fast wingers playing down the wing like Sterling.
Yeah.
And he hasn't had that this tournament. And Ollie Watkins came in and he looked like a completely different player.
Yeah. So look, now it's, I think in this match, again, England played a team that they were actually better than, I mean, frankly. And now for the first time in the entire tournament, they'll play a team that is actually better than them. All it takes is one good performance. We've talked about this before. So on a given day, they could win it, and it could go their way. But in this case, they'll finally be, I think, not the favorite in the match, so it'll be interesting.
They'll be tested. Look, the way I think about it, Spain are heavy favorites. Maybe, I don't know, 70%, 70-30. But that means you play 10 times and Spain will win 7 times. England have to do something that makes it one of those 3 out of 10 times. They'll have to play out of their skins. They'll have to neutralize the Spanish wings while also staying strong in the middle, and then try and get them on the counter. The one thing that I think works in England's favor is Spain play a very open match, play a very open game. And that will also create chances for England. I think Spain will dominate, but England, if they take their chances and if somehow prevent Spain from doing what they do, it might finally come up.
And they might get the same or similar referee again, and he'll award him a couple penalties, and then it'll be game over. So
exactly that's all you need.
Someone, some bookie out there's making a lot of money off these English matches, but
100%. But yeah, let's see, man. Let's see. I'm quietly confident.
Yeah, it's anything's possible in a one-off match. You have a one-off match. There's been opportunities for Georgia beat Portugal in a one-off match, right? I know it's a Portugal B team, but still, we'll see what happens. You know, so yeah, it's England's made the final again. They'll play Spain. That's a Euro final. For those of you enjoying these videos, please subscribe to the channel. Let us know if you agree with the penalty decision. Let's know if you feel the Dutch were robbed. Do you think England is a deserved team to get into the final, and who's going to win the final? So let us know all those things. And until next time, keep watching the beautiful game. Bick, I'll leave it to you to say one quick word, because I've heard enough from the English fans today. So keep it short.
It's coming home.